You are now listening to Nexxlegacy Radio, a radio station for the people.
The Legacy Showcase, iambranded here, and of course this is all brought to you by Nexxlegacy.com, but this is all brought to you by all the listeners out there that continue to listen and support this station and what we do. So I definitely appreciate global support all the way from Tokyo, Japan, and Australia. I see y'all heavy out there, and I appreciate it. And all my beautiful people out there in the United States, welcome aboard this train. And, you listen to a song like that, it kind of gets you in a nostalgic mood, kind of makes you feel a certain way. And, you think about Club Nouveau and a lot of groups that arrived around the same time they did. And, you can't help but feel good about music and the direction that they played the game in. And, my guest right here is, when it comes to music, and people out there, this is not a very, very massive secret, but Club Nouveau has new music. They do. Samuel's here from Club Nouveau to discuss that on this episode brought to you by Nexxlegacy. Samuel of Club Nouveau, welcome, sir.
How you doing, man?
I'm beautiful, man. I'm beautiful. How's life treating you, sir?
Oh, man, blessed.
Hey.
Blessed, man. That's all I can say.
Hey, and you know what? On top of just, I know you feeling blessed, and we're gonna talk about a lot of the new stuff that you and Club Nouveau has and all that. And hey, I'm here to always make sure that I tip my cap and my hat and whatever I have on my head at this particular time. And thank you for the music that you have blessed us with throughout your career. So thank you, sir, for giving us beautiful hits.
Oh, man, it's very much appreciated, man. It's like, just when you were playing Lean on Me, it's just so funny to hear, that song, because it's just like it does the same thing to me now that it did, back in 1986. It's like it's timeless.
Did you think how timeless it would be now when you first came out with it to now in 2014? It'll still make you feel the same way. Did you think that was something that you had on your hand?
Well, because at the time it was like, you remember Bill Withers? It was his version was a classic already. I think everybody, whoever tickled the piano keys, I think that was the only song I think everybody knew how to play. Was just, down, 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 down. So when you're doing music, you don't really think, 30 years from now, 25 years from now, you just do what feels good. And, I think, that's the element that has kept Club Nouveau, relevant so long, is that when we did, Life, Love, and Pain, we just did, what was in it. We did what,
right.
What we felt. And, just like, the music of old. Motown and all, they did what was happening. They did real stuff. It's no make-believe. They talked about what was real. Love was real. It was just real. And if you stay real, then you can't go wrong.
A lot of people call it, just like you said, real. A lot of people say conscious. A lot of people throw in inspiring. You can kind of put all that in the pot, mix it up, and it's still going to come out the same as long as you keep it true to your craft and things like that. So when Club Nouveau first broke into the scene, and I think each individual member has a uniqueness about them. Was that something that you guys and girls basically pretty much had at that particular time? Like, hey, we're going to make sure that we showcase our strengths and be a little bit different than how some of the other cats were actually getting down with their music.
I'm gonna be honest. Since I was the last piece of the puzzle, because
right.
If you remember Jay and Tommy, Denny, and Valor, they had they just had done Rumors. They had just did Rumors with Timon.
Right.
And because of what went down with that, how the guys went, while he was out breaking the record and literally, sold everything he had and put his whole life on the line to make that thing happen against all odds.
Right.
When it came time to, okay, guys, let's do this thing, they had already signed with someone else. So, some people would have been heartbroken, and but Jay's not that type of guy.
Right.
He said, okay, we're gonna do it again. And this time, we're gonna be the group. We're not just gonna be producers and things like that. And so I was the last piece of the puzzle, because Val was the enzyme man, Valerie Watson.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I came about, it was like, they just called me in Denzel and Jay called me and, hey, because I went to high school with Denzel Foster, which is from Foster McElroy, which is, and he just tried me out on Jealousy and Situation Number 9. I had no idea what was going to be done with it or anything. But he said, hey, man, I want to try you out because, you know, I said, man, cool, because, you know, I heard he was on the Timex project, and I thought he had forgot about me, you know. And so when he called me to do that, I went, met at his mom's house in Old California with him and Jay. I did a little tryout, you know, Situation Number 9, a little bit of Jealousy, and they said, okay, we'll get back to you and let you know. About 3 days later, man, they called me and said, hey, could you meet us at the studio in Alameda, and we want to record this record and put it out. It was just like, the wheels were already turning, kind of like when I came about.
Right.
And,
I mean, and like you said, you throw in the you call yourself the last piece of the puzzle, and I mean, I know things were kind of already circulating in, but you know, with you, Samuel, I mean, you coming into the to the stage, I mean, you already, like you said, I mean, Situation Number 9, I mean, Jealousy, I mean, those songs that a lot of people, it will stick with us forever, man. I mean, you know, I would put it like this. I'm gonna give you a lot more credit than you would ever think coming from, you know, history like that. So, you know, you gotta give credit where credit's due.
Well, I appreciate it, but you know, the one thing I always know is that, you know, grew up in the church, singing in my father's quartet group. I'm the youngest of the boys in my family, and you know, my father always had a quartet gospel group. You know, he had a group like the Mighty Clouds and all that kind of stuff called the Zionaires. So we grew up with music in my house. As I was a little bitty kid, rehearsals were held in our living room. You know, so full band, everything. So we grew up singing quartet and gospel and things in church. So I'm the guy who's gonna give. When I say I give all honor and glory to God, I mean that, because over all those years, I had no idea. I knew I wanted to sing. I knew I wanted to be, like in a band and on television. I knew I wanted those things. But it kind of, God, he really kind of gave it to me, because I didn't go out and try out for a bunch of bands and all that kind of stuff. I didn't play in, some guys play in a lot of bands, and, they work for years before it happened. So God really gave it to me, and, he really favored me with that. And, so I got to give it to him. He gave me the gift, and I thank the Lord that he's kept, he stayed with me all this time. And so now when you hear the new music on Consciousness, it's like God kept us all in pristine condition, and we're blessed for that, because we're all in the same season, mentally, spiritually, and physically right now. So when you hear the Consciousness CD, oh man, it's it's kind of like the first one, but we all believe this is our best work yet. Consciousness.
And listening to some of your new stuff, Samuel is our guest on Legacy Showcase, and I mean, I'm tipping my hat off once again. And my question to you, sir, is what took y'all so long to come back, man? We missed y'all. What took y'all so long? Where y'all been?
Well, we did the first one, and then remember, after we did the first Live, Love, and Pain album with all the hits on it, I did a solo project. I did a solo, because remember, me and Val were always going to do solo projects. So after the success of that, I did a solo project. I did a #1 project. I don't know if you read a song, So You Like What You See, Give It the Program.
Yep.
So you like what you see, that song. So I did that, and when that took off #1, so I started doing my solo stuff. And over, so I did that for some years, and Club Nouveau still had released a few more, projects. That You Ain't No Friend of Mine. They had a few more things on the charts that was pretty cool. It didn't go as as big as the first stuff. But, they stayed on the charts for a while, and just how it is. It's just like everybody started doing their own thing for a while. We should have, you look back and you say, we should have toured more, we should have did this more, but you know what? I think it made us into who we are now, and I think that's why this new project is the way it is because, everybody's back, and, me, Jay, and Val are, we're all in sync. It's a great thing, man. It's great to be able to come back, to be honest with you, because, not many groups get a chance to do what we're doing right now.
Amen to that.
20-something years.
Yep. And what's that?
Man,
And what's that they say, Samuel? Like, sometimes you have to leave home just to come back, right? Sometimes you got to do that.
Yeah, you do, man. And, when you come home, you appreciate it. The prodigal son, you run off and, you do your thing, you know, and you come back, and you know, when you receive with open arms and love, and you know, they started a fatted calf for you. You got to go on and do your thing and be appreciative, man. And you know, and we're all, you know, very happy to be doing this together. You know, at this time in our lives, man. Everybody, you know, like again, man, everybody's taking care of themselves. You know, it's gonna be good, man. That's all I can say. It's gonna be good.
And with this project, and you know, you got a track on there titled "Change the World," right?
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Change the world.
I mean, we gonna play it a little, you know, we're gonna play it in a little while, but I mean, I'm just saying, like, people out there listening, if you ain't heard it, whoo, you're gonna change the world, though. I mean, I'm just saying. So, I mean, when you guys got, when all you guys got back in the studio, and I mean, did it just pick off like it was never a hiatus, or you know, how was the vibe when y'all got back into the studio to make this record?
Well, see, in a sense, it was a high, because we were out already doing some dates. You know, we were going out doing dates, and Change the World, and That Ain't Love, which is the first single. We kind of slipped those in our show. We were doing the hits, and we kind of did those in the show, and the people gave us such great feedback that's how we started saying, you know what, because at first, you know, we were just going to do a greatest hits album, and then, you know, throw a bunch of, you know, like 4 or 5 new cuts on it. You know what I mean? And call it, you know, greatest hits, volume this, and, you know, give them a couple of bonus tracks. But when we did That Ain't Love and Change the World, man, people were just like, is that on there? You know, when you know, afterwards we'd sit down and we, you know, sign the CDs and things like that. They kept saying, is those 2 songs you did on there? Are they on there? Why aren't they on there? It became a demand. And so, you know, me and Jay and Val were like, you know what, man, we got to go in and record these things. And then, you know, it turned into one thing, and it just led to the whole process, man. And, you know, and it was a process because, you know, they live in Southern Cal and I live in Northern Cal. So it was done in bits and pieces. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, if I'm in L.A., okay, Sam, you know, boom, I go over and do some parts. Jay and Val would get together, and they come to Northern Cal. We never sat down in one place and just knocked it out. But it was just like we had never left. And it was actually even better because, you know, everybody's a better writer now. Everybody's a better vocalist now. You know what I mean? A better arranger. Everybody, you know, so it was actually better. You know, if possible, it's better than the first time because everybody knows what they're doing now.
Right. A lot more maturity, you know, a lot more mature sounding. You know, even the writing is more mature. And, you know, real quick, quiet as it kept. I mean, you said, you know, Val and Jay live in SoCal and you up north. You up north with me, so we crossed paths. You know, we'll talk offline, but we met each other a couple times. Just wanted to throw that out there because, you know, So it's all family love right here on Legacy Showcase. I just wanted to let you know. So hey, I just wanted to throw that out there, sir. So we have crossed paths. And for the people out there that don't know Samuel, hey, one of the most generous dudes. You know, the coolest dudes you'll ever run across too. So I mean, I'm not just saying that because, you know, the brother's blessed enough to, you know, come on the show or whatever. But I'm just saying, like, you know, he's approachable. He's not one of those. You know, one of those people that just run away from the audience or from the people. You are a people person, so I got to make sure I throw that out there and let people know.
Well, I appreciate that, man. But, you know, like I said, I enjoy people. You know, I really do because, you know, you learn that, hey, you can do music all day long, but if you're so deep that nobody gets it, then you definitely can't make a living off of it. But if you tell a story, just tell the stories, man, straight the way, you know, the way you see it, like people say, the way I see it. Just tell me honest, be true. People ask why we didn't come back. Music had changed so much, man. I'm kind of glad we just now coming back. You know what I mean? Because we would have never conformed to doing music the way that they were doing it. You know what I mean? It's like it worked. You know, for some people it worked for, but it's almost like now we never tainted our brand because we stayed true to, you know, to R&B the way we do it. R&B. You know what I mean? It's like, and that. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
And speaking of staying true, like Club Nouveau has and will always be, correct?
Yes.
Why is it so many artists that just don't stay true to their craft, man? I mean, you know, and basically my question to you is, I mean, and you've been in the game for a long time, man. You've seen a lot of changes, not with record labels, not just with record labels, but also with just artists in general. Like, a lot of people are more so capturing or want to capture the fame before putting out quality sounding music. So what happened? What happened? Can you help? Because I've asked a lot of people with celebrity status like yourself, and we're all trying to figure it out here. So can you please give me something different that I haven't heard in my lifetime? Please.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. I think people treated music like the dope game. I think they were chasing dollars instead of trying to make good music. You know what I mean? It's like you have people who turned it into a hustle. You know what I mean? It's like people saw how much money that could be made in this business, and then you have people who, from the street, who had money and they found talent, throw them in the studio, okay, and just start putting stuff out, And everything you think and feel is not proper to be out on record.
Right.
Okay? So,
right.
You know what I mean? And they were doing it, and then all of a sudden I think the industry kicked in because they knew it was, it cost a lot less to make some of these, these overnight projects, and they were raking in the dollars short term, of course. And then when you started getting all these new sounding music and all, a lot of the artists started leaving R&B and trying to chase what was popular.
Right.
You know what I mean? We abandoned R&B, and that's why you have so many artists who are not R&B artists winning R&B awards now.
That's true. Very true.
We left. Everybody told everybody in R&B, if you want to make money, you got to go pop. So they started trying to be pop instead of R&B. And, a good song is a good song, man. A good song is going, I don't like saying crossover. It's going to expand on every chart if it's a good song.
Absolutely.
Okay? It's really about the exposure. It's not about whether this song is better than that song. If you are putting your heart and soul into a song, I've heard songs that I listen to, and it's not playing on every station. But I go like, wow, but it has a message, and it's nice, and you go, and you listen to it, and you go like, see, this is a perfect example of if this person had the exposure that some of these songs have, it probably would break every record, every barrier. You know what I mean? It would.
Right.
They're not exposed to it. It's not being exposed in the same light, and that's just the way it is. It's just it's just the way it is. But like you to go back to your original question, we abandoned R&B. We left it. We chased everything that had a dollar sign attached to it, and you can't do this just for money. Of course, you want to make money at it, but you got to do it because you love it, man. Because it's not easy. Okay, you're gonna face a lot of rejection. You're gonna face people telling you, "Hey, man, it's not happening. If you don't do it this way, it ain't gonna happen for you." They want to change your music. They want to do all these different things, telling you got to say this, you got to say that, or it's not popular, or it ain't gonna resonate. But you gotta wait it. You gotta just wait it out. So you gotta love it. When you love to do something, you don't stop. You don't keep changing it every time somebody tell you to change it. When you love something, that's the hardest thing for us to do is change, right?
No doubt. No doubt. No doubt. Samuel of Club Nouveau is my guest on Legacy Showcase, and I'm gonna throw something out there that I definitely want you to chime in on as far as your opinion, since we are kind of talking about this subject in hand as far as that goes. And I had an interview a while back with Saida Garrett, and Saida Garrett, right? She penned that classic "Man in the Mirror," Michael Jackson, the whole deal, right?
Exactly.
Ask her the question: if "Man in the Mirror" would come out now, 2014, would it change a lot of ways that a lot of people think like it did back when it came out in 86, 87? I'm going to throw the same question out there with Lean on Me and any of the timeless classics that Club Nouveau have. You throw Lean on Me, Situation Number 9, you throw a lot of those timeless joints, you put them right here, right now in 2014, would they still get the same amount of love?
I think they may get more.
Okay.
Because of the state of the state of the world right now, man. It's like you got to start with you. Mike was doing stuff. He was ahead of his time when when you think about Man in the Mirror, he's talking about the same thing we're talking about on consciousness. It's like we said, you got to start with you. You can't change everybody's mind. You got to start with yourself. You change your world, and you start with that.
Right.
So many people want to go out and you want to go out and change everybody else's world. Start with yours. You got to start with you, and that's why I've always loved the songs you just mentioned. That Man in the Mirror has always been a very powerful song for me, because when he gets to that got to look at yourself and make that change. I was like, man, that's powerful, dude. That's like, it was almost like gospel. It was like when he got there, I felt it, and I said, man, that is so true. So if you take songs like that and you put it out right now, look at the state of the world today. Our youth are lost, man.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
I mean,
They're lost.
I agree. I agree. You know, and I'm struggling with it because, you know, I have an 11-year-old daughter, man, and I'm, you know, I'm not saying that, you know, you can put me on the couch and, you know, Samuel Club Nouveau is actually a therapist. You know, I have an 11-year-old daughter, and I'm trying to get her to understand how much the music in the past means, not just because of what was actually being sung, but how passionate they were doing it. So a lot of the younger kids, I think they take a lot of that for granted in a sense. They take a lot of the past, they take a lot of the past music, not just the successes, but also the meaning and the power that each song gave and delivered, not just in concert, but on the radio. And, you know, we take that for granted now. So, you know, when you think about the younger generation and how it was when we were growing up, you know, what can you say to motivate these younger kids out here nowadays? That's starving. That might possibly be starving for the kind of attention that we gave our music back in the day.
Well, you know, again, it starts in the home.
True.
I just remember when I was a kid, you know, my dad played Sam Cooke, Al Green. Yep. He played all, you know, Temptations. He played all that, but he also played Mighty Clouds of Joy, the Blind Boys. You know what I mean? So you had a mixture of R&B and gospel, but you didn't have to turn one off with the kids in the car.
Right.
You know what I mean? You can pop whatever 8-track he had in, you can leave it on and let it play.
And you said 8-track too. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead. Go ahead.
You can leave it on. You can leave it on. You can leave it on and let it play. You didn't have to.
That's
you didn't
right.
have to, you know, change a song when your kids were in the car. You didn't have to do that. So I think what happened was we learned how powerful and what those songs meant because our parents played it. We saw how it, you know, we saw how a song can make. You saw how a song can make your mama dance. You saw how a song can make your mama happy. You saw a song can make your mama, you know, more serious and more sad. You know what I mean?
That's right.
You knew that. You saw it with Misty Blue. If your mama ever listened to that song, Make My Whole World Misty Blue, I saw my mama. I saw her mood change. I saw her mood change from listening to the Temps. So I realized, whoa. So you start paying attention to the words. So really, it's like we have to train our kids. They learn through us. Okay.
Yep.
They watch what we do. Yes, they act like they don't, but man, our kids are watching everything we do. They learn how to talk, walk, and think in those early years by what we do. So if you telling them one thing, but as soon as you pop in the car, you playing some crazy, you know, music, belittling and to women and people and all that, they're not gonna pick up on it. But if they see you, they see the song that when Dad popped that song and then they see Dad singing and happy and they gonna remember that. It's gonna stick.
Amen.
It's gonna resonate. It's going to resonate. You know what I mean?
Amen.
Just like they did when we heard Temptation, My Girl. Okay? Perfect example. My Girl. When you were a little kid, you ain't had no girl yet, but you knew how important that song was.
Exactly. And you know, and you can sing that thing verbatim down to a T, and you would do the steps that they would do, and that used to, you know, come on, Samuel, man, come on, man. You know, there's been plenty of times my mama then paraded me around with her friends, and you know, and sing that song. Like, come on, man. He did that. I did that too many times in my lifetime, man. I already know what time it is, bro. I do.
Sing that song. Sing that song. I tell you, man, and that's what's lost because you know the parents now. We have these, you know, this new generation of parents, and they're playing all this hip hop in the house, and you know, you have certain hip hop that's dance, but you got certain hip hop, of course, you know, the lyrics and the stories are not for kids, okay?
Of course.
And that's what they're listening to, man. So they're getting a detachment. You know what I mean? It's like they're getting detached. And it used to be a time they'd be like, oh no, the baby up, don't put that on. But now they don't care. I'm riding on the street sometime, man, and I'm hearing these lyrics, and I look over and thinking it's just, you know, just a grown up. And they got the little kids, the little boy, little girls in the car, and all I'm hearing is mother this and be this and da. And the kids, this is being put in their spirit. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
So that's why it's like whenever we get a chance to be on the podium, which is have a song on the radio, we got to say something that means. We got to use it to say something that means something. Okay? We try to make a positive. People think positive is what do they call it? You know, square or something. Ain't nothing. I ain't never known positive to be corny or square. Never. You know what I mean?
If it is, I'm corny and square all day, bro. That's just how it is, and I'm cool with that.
Exactly, because you cannot do anything right with negative vibes around you. Anything negative
That's
around you, you gotta distance yourself from that, man. You want positive vibes is what you look for. Okay,
Yep.
anybody
Yep.
negative and things like that. I know people hate to detach themselves, but you got to. Otherwise, you're gonna become negative. You know, not
Amen, amen to that.
It's out there, but you know, we gotta take control, man. We've lost our, you know, I'm so sick of us waiting till, you know, Black family, you know, Black History Month before we act like, you know, we got some sense. That don't make sense to me. It's like it's Black History every day,
Exactly.
you know, every year, every day of the year, man. It's just like if we took our power that we have in music and used it for good, it would be different. It would be different.
Can't be touched, man.
Our kids would be different, man. It would be different.
And we all harmonizing at the same time, Sam. You know, everybody harmonizing, like we all on the same page. And, you know, if it was like that, you know, but like you said, everybody, you know, the younger generation got their babies listening to crunk music and this, that, and the other, but not giving them an alternative, not giving them some classics. Like, you know, I wasn't born when Sam Cooke came and did his thing, and I wasn't around when Diana Ross and the Supremes had their thing. But you know, I listened to it, and when I listened to it, I understood, and when I understood, I felt it. And when I felt it, I wanted to share with everybody else how I felt listening to songs like that. You know what I mean? And that's how it's supposed to go, right?
I hated that those people were dead before I got to meet them.
Amen.
You know, as a kid, I would go, Sam Cooke is my all-time favorite. That is, I'm telling you, that is my all-time. I've never heard any voice that can sing anything that just, you know what I mean, that just resonates and cuts through like he is, you know, whether he's singing happy, funny, or sad. It's just like it was no question. He made you feel, you know, what he was talking about. So I used to go like, man, these people, it's like all our greats died before we got a chance to, you know what I mean? I didn't get a chance to see them on television. Like now you can see all these people on television and stuff. I was thinking like what it must have been like to see Sam Cooke perform. You know what I mean?
Right.
What it must have been like to see Otis Redding and all these guys perform. They were gone before, you know, we weren't born yet.
Nat King Cole. Come on, man. You know
they were gone, man. That's what I say to myself. And now we have all these new kings, you know, the R. Kellys and the John Legends and all them. And it's just like, man, I wish we all would just take the power and just change. You know what I mean? Each one of them just go, man, you know what? Let's say every project we have, let's do something that is inspiring, you know, these youth. And I don't just mean the African-American youth. I'm talking about the youth in general.
Amen.
They all lost. Not just us. They all lost. You know, you got Chinese, Mexican, everybody lost. They don't have nothing to hold on to. It's just like, you know, television and videos and, you know, all this stuff has just changed, you know, people. The disconnect with parents spending time with your kids. They just put them in front of a television now because we got 300 channels, and they go, well, you know, he seems okay. He's playing his video game, you know. So times have changed. I understand that.
Give him an iPhone, give him an iPhone, give him an iPad, and just be like, go about your business. And, you know, that closeness. I was talking to a good friend of mine, and we were talking about how, you know how everybody likes to put pictures on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff nowadays, right? And we were talking about, man, what's going to happen one day when we don't have, you know how the picture, you know, we have the photo albums and stuff, right? You can go flip through a photo album with the family, and, you know, you can sit on the couch and as a family look at, you know, wow, you know what, this takes me back, you know, and just bring that spirit back that we have. We don't do that no more, and we don't have those photo albums no more, and that's missing. We need to do little things like that.
The saddest part about it is because families don't have that. They don't put in time together to even take those pictures anymore.
That's true.
When is the last time
that
you've seen? When is the last time you've seen any pictures of families out? And I'm talking about pictures other than the barbecue when there's people in there perking and all this, or you know what I mean, or car.
The old school family, J.C. Penney, the J.C. Penney photos, right, Sam? Right, Sam? Them classic ones. The Macy's or, you know, those old school ones where the family would go to J.C. Penney's to go take pictures, right?
Exactly. Where is the photos? Where's the photos when it wasn't nobody at the house but the family, but Dad was barbecuing? You see what I'm saying? And somebody had the camera.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Now, one time you see photos, it's when you got 1 million people over the house, everybody party. You know what I mean? It's like the families they act like they can't just be together. They got to have everybody else there.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? I trip on that because I go like,
or Sam, check this out. Or you see a lot of people out there just taking selfies now, self pictures. Like, let me take a picture of myself.
That is the funniest. That is the funniest thing in the world to me. Because I go, okay, I see women doing it. Okay. But dude, there's so many guys taking selfies down. I'm thinking like, what are we doing? I'm like, brothers, what are we doing? We actually sitting there sticking our arm out, taking a picture of ourselves. Yep. I mean, just have somebody your phone. Have somebody your phone. Say, oh, excuse me, you take a picture real quick, because that's how silly it is. If you think you sound silly saying it to somebody, that's how silly it is. It's like, you take a picture of yourself by yourself.
No doubt. Sam is my guest on Legacy Showcasing. Consciousness, you know, I had a lot of people asking that. Is that album out? When is the album dropping?
The album should be out like the middle of March. The middle to the end of March, the full CD. The single is available now on iTunes. That Ain't Love.
That Ain't Love is available?
Yeah, that's available on iTunes.
And people can go to iTunes.com right now, search Club Nouveau, go ahead and pick it up. And you know, it's a social media world, man. So before I let you go, you know, I gotta ask you that good website, Facebook, all the stuff we were talking about, man. What you got, Sam?
Okay, hold on, man. You got me stumped now. Wait a second.
So Sam of Club Nouveau, do you have a Facebook? Do you have Twitter? Do you have Instagram?
Well, you know what? I have a Facebook. It's at Singing Samuel. That's my
Singing
Facebook.
Samuel on Facebook.
Yeah, that's my personal one. But Club Nouveau is the Club Nouveau, like THE Club Nouveau. Yeah, the Club Nouveau. There you go. Yeah,
and that's also the .com too, right?
Yeah, when you go on there, all the other ones will be linked to it. You'll see all the other Twitters and all that kind of stuff in there too. You'll see all that on there.
There you go.
But, you know,
and before I let you go, just know that, you know, we gonna stay connected, because, you know, I gotta make sure I tell you a couple of places that we met, just seeing you ring a bell, so you'll know. Be like, oh, okay. But now I gotta tell you before we close, man, that you know how you mentioned, you know, the classics like Nat King Cole and all the people that you wish, you know, you had dialogue with and stuff like that. As fans and as media people like myself, you know, I need to throw that out there your way as well, and make sure you let the you know, other folks at Club Nouveau know as well. Like, you know, this stuff that we do, when we have a chance to interview and let it leak out into the entire world to show our gratitude and appreciation, I mean, you know, we putting you in there with the all-time greats, man. Anytime you can give us songs to, you know, give us nice memories and give us memories that will be forever embedded in our brains, I mean, we got to make sure we give you credit, man. So, you know, tell the rest of the club and tell and yourself, man, that we really appreciate you, and we're going to stand strong, stand behind you. And, you know, when the album drops, man, come back and let's party like we used to do at old school radio days, man. Have an album release party. Let's do it.
Anytime. But before we go, I just want to say, lift every voice and sing. Till in heaven ring with the harmony of liberty. Let our rejoice see rise highest the listening sky. Let us march on till victory has won.
Amen to that. Man, you know how to tear down a radio show, bruh. Oh, my God. That's my man. Sam, Club Nouveau. Hey, blessings to you, man. Tell the rest of the family I said blessings as well.
I will, man. Until then, bro.
All right, have a good one. Legend right here.
Thank you for listening to the #1 radio station for the people.